Uncle Howdy just dropped a series of new hints, so there's a lot to get into there. We'll also check out new developments for Dominik, Mysterio, Liv Morgan, and more. Starting things off with the new Uncle Howdy teasers. This week's teasers included a large series of individual photos that all contained images of handwritten notes laid out all over the floor of someone's house. And we'll get to see whose house it was a bit later on. But the message of the notes contains similar things to what we've been hearing over the last few weeks. It's clear that Howdy is the one writing these notes here because he used the familiar line of, "I am all of us." Uncle Howdy said that exact same line during the final Firefly Funhouse episode with Bray Wyatt back in early 2023. It was an interesting line back then because everyone was very curious to find out what Uncle Howdy meant by that. What did he mean by saying he was all of them? Well, it looks like they'll be keeping that part of the story going and bringing it back. So we'll get more context and details to what Howdy means by saying that he's all of them. The fact that the notes contained an old Howdy quote is just a nice little extra context clues and confirmation that these handwritten notes and all the previous teasers all truly came from Uncle Howdy. He talks about how his new family members were all trapped and alone, but how he set them free, how he opened that door for them. The usage of the word door is interesting too, because Howdy can be figuratively talking about a door, or maybe he's using it as more of a literal way because part of Bray's new entrance in 2022 was him quite literally opening up a door and walking through it. So Howdy's constant talk about opening a door and walking through it could be related back to Bray Wyatt's entrance and how they can maybe even keep a part of that entrance. Howdy ends off the message by saying that he finally knows his purpose and everyone will soon see it. One of the images in the teaser also includes a USB and some other computer equipment that shows the date and time of May 16th, 4 p.m., clearly hinting at the idea of another teaser coming right in the middle of the week, something uploaded there from the USB files. Considering that there's no live WWE show taking place at that time, everyone anticipates that it'll be an Uncle Howdy teaser that'll be revealed on WWE's social media platforms. So everyone will be on the lookout to see what that turns out to be. The other image in the teaser is of a very familiar face that has technically appeared in the Bray Wyatt universe. Back in the fall of 2019, WWE was airing little commercials and sketches with WWE superstars to advertise and promote the fact that Smackdown was moving to Fox. One of these advertisements was a commercial that featured the Fiend Bray Wyatt sitting down with a woman who was serving as his psychiatrist. Now at the time, it was basically a funny little commercial sketch because obviously why does a monstrous entity like the Fiend need a psychiatrist? But fast forward 5 years later, and it looks like things have taken a dark turn for that once funny interaction. The new Uncle Howdy teaser revealed that same exact psychiatrist that sat down with the Fiend that went missing this past weekend. The news article about the psychiatrist's disappearance also confirms that the mysterious Uncle Howdy notes were found in the psychiatrist's home. There were some fans out there saying that the flooring in the note pictures look similar to Alexa Bliss's home flooring, but it looks like that has been debunked right away from the teasers themselves. It's not Alexa's home that the notes were left in, it was the psychiatrist's home. So, what does Howdy and company want with the psychiatrist, and why have they taken her? Well, it seems very unlikely that Howdy wants the psychiatrist as a member of his faction, so the easiest guess is that Uncle Howdy wants whatever she has on file from her sessions with the Fiend from over 5 years ago. Maybe there's some information there that Howdy can use to learn more about the Fiend and try to understand the Fiend better. But that's definitely a massive advancement to the storyline and shows that Howdy and his family are making some pretty big moves off screen. They got Bray's old psychiatrist in their possession right now, and who knows what kind of information she's holding about Bray Wyatt and the Fiend that no one else knows. So she could end up being a very valuable person for Howdy. And considering that the notes and everything took place inside the psychiatrist's house, that means that desk with all the USBs and computer equipment most likely belonged to the psychiatrist. So it's possible that the Thursday teaser could be some never-before-seen footage of the Fiend and the psychiatrist. Maybe they use outtakes from the 2019 commercial shoot as a new teaser. Maybe it's audio from the psychiatrist speaking about the Fiend in private. But it just really looks like the USB from her home office is going to have something big related to the Fiend and the psychiatrist. So that's going to be massive. Fans have also wondered if the Uncle Howdy teasers contain a hidden countdown as well. The teasers from the May 13th edition of Raw heavily featured the number 12. And funny enough, 12 days from May 13th is the day of the King and Queen of the Ring Premium Live event, making fans wonder if the big reveal in Uncle Howdy family debut will take place in Saudi Arabia. So again, it's just amazing how deep and connected these new teasers are to Bray Wyatt's past, and how it ties certain things back together in current day. There's a lot of hype and questions surrounding Uncle Howdy's faction, so we'll see if King and Queen of the Ring is the date and location for this special debut. There weren't any big moments between Dominik and Liv Morgan on the May 13th edition of Raw, but fans still spotted some things that they feel like was the advancement for the week. Starting with Damian Priest's very interesting quick remark to Dominik. Damian asked Dominik if everything was okay between him and Rhea. Dominik said, "Yeah, why?" But that conversation was cut off right there as the other Judgment Day members walked in. So not much at all to really decipher. Really straightforward, short conversation. But the fact that Damian even asked that question makes it seem like Damian probably saw something go down between Dominik and Liv. So Dominik and Liv have been sneaking around for just around a month. But Damian has already caught wind of what's going on there. It's possible that this will lead to Damian maybe even catching and discovering something major about Dominik and Liv's affair. So Damian is definitely on the case. The other possible connection for Liv and Dominik this week that fans discovered was that the both of them have now been hit by Becky Lynch in some way. Becky punched Dominik a few months back on Raw, and now Becky just slapped Liv on the May 13th edition of Raw. So that's something that Liv and Dominik both have in common now. We can surely expect that storyline between Liv Morgan and Dominik to continue because they've been quietly advancing it for 4 weeks straight now. So the discoveries there with that storyline should continue to grow in the coming weeks. And again, it'll be interesting to find out, what does Damian Priest know exactly? Does he know Rhea and Dominik are distant with each other right now? Has he quietly spotted Dominik and Liv without saying anything? And if he does see something major, will he go and tell Rhea Ripley about it? It's just an important storyline to invest your time and attention to because major payoffs for the story should come into play once Rhea Ripley returns. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.